Welcome, Falcon families, to the 2020 Virtual Moving Up Assembly. We're here today to celebrate everyone in the Woodinville High School community who will be moving up or moving on next year. This means so many new and exciting adventures waiting us. Although this year took an unexpected turn, the Woodinville community persevered during the hardest of times, showing up to the seemingly endless Zooms, finding ways to keep traditions, and constantly supporting one another at a safe distance of 6 feet. It's safe to say that this year has tested the definition of Falcon family. It'll go down in history books as one with many bittersweet goodbyes and heartfelt hellos for our students. But as we move on to the next chapter of our lives, this year will serve as a reminder to seize every opportunity, cherish every high school memory, and live in the present. Freshmen, congrats on embracing the Falcon spirit and completing your first year of high school. To the sophomores, you're halfway to the finish line and have such an important and exciting year ahead of you. Juniors, your hard work and dedication has paid off as we're almost through the hardest year of high school. We are so close to being the big Falcons on campus. Seniors, we are so proud of you, and we have a couple of surprises for you in today's assembly. For the staff members moving on, this may mean going to a new school or opening a new chapter in your journey. And for the staff that will be staying with us, another year under your belts and new classes are on the way. Before we start the assembly, here's a brief look at today's agenda. And with that, I would like to introduce Junior Joshua Locke, who will be performing Graduation by Vitamin C and My Wish by Rascal Flatts as a parting gift to the class of 2020. From your homes, please give a warm welcome to Josh.
Hey Falcons, my name is Joshua Locke. I'm a junior at WHS. To the class of 2020, I want to say how much I admire your strength, hope, and optimism through these challenging times. I want to sing you a song to commemorate your class as you turn your eyes towards the future. We will all miss you, and your Falcon family wishes you nothing but the best.
As we go on, we remember all the times we spent together, and as our lives change from whatever, we will still be friends forever. I hope the days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you wanna go. And if you're faced with the choice and you have to choose, hope you choose the one that means the most to you. And if one door opens to another door close, I hope you keep on walking till you find the window. If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. And more than anything, and more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you get old. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. I hope you never look back, but you never forget all the ones who love you in the place you left. I hope you always forgive and you never regret, and you help somebody every chance you get. Oh, you find God's grace in every mistake, always give more than you take. More than anything, you're more than anything. My wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want it to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. While you're out there getting where you're getting to, hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my
Thanks again, Josh, for that wonderful performance. Now, these past few months have definitely been a time for reflection. How long can I go without human interaction? What did I miss most about school? And will I ever go back to wearing anything but sweatpants? So many uncertainties and unknowns. But one thing's for sure, our Falcons really know how to have fun. Here's a snapshot of what the 2019-2020 school year looked like through the lens of a Falcon. Enjoy.
This isn't real, it's all in my head, I can feel it. I'm imagining this, can I wake up from this dream all over, fall back to sleep, please.
Let's get this bread.
For a second, for a minute, can we go? For a second, for a minute, can we go?
Throughout their past 3 years of WHS, our seniors have learned together, grown together, and become a family. It is now time for our ASB President, Drew Wilson, and for our Senior Class President, Zoe Freeman, to give one last farewell to their class and step down from their positions. And as tradition, pass along the shoe and key to our next ASB President and Senior Class President.
Hey Falcons, what a year it has been, and who would have thought it ended like this? Me giving a speech from my room. Throughout the ups and downs of this year, I really want to thank you guys, the students, for your guys' ideas and your Falcon spirit for making this the best year yet. To my fellow seniors, there's no doubt in my mind that we as the class of 2020 has left a lasting impact on our school.
This past year, I was the senior class president of the class of 2020. Although this year may not have gone the way we hoped, I am still immensely proud of the work we were able to do and the fun that we had along the way. I am incredibly honored to pass on the role of senior class president to Ruby Benson. Throughout the past 2 years, I have seen firsthand how dedicated and hardworking Ruby is, and I have no doubt in my mind that next year's senior class will be in the best of hands, and I look forward to hearing about all the wonderful things that she will bring to this role. It has been a long-standing tradition for the senior class president to sign the shoe and pass it on to the next class president. To uphold this tradition, I'll be passing on the shoe to Ruby Benson.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Zoe's been a great example over the last few years, and I'm so excited to be class president, and I know that we're going to have a great senior year.
As we look forward to next year, I want to introduce next year's ASB president. I've had the honor of working with her for the last 3 years, and I've never met someone more passionate for Woodinville and its students. Not only does she work to plan amazing dances, events, and assemblies, but more importantly, she is committed to creating lasting relationships. Committed to building a culture at Woodinville where every student feels that they belong. I am confident in her ability to serve the student body of Woodinville with passion, humility, and kindness. Please help me welcome the 37th ASB President, Tina Zhang. It has been an absolute honor serving as your guys' ASB President this year, and I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. It has been a long-standing tradition for every ASB President to sign this key to pass down to next year's ASB President. Unfortunately, I am unable to pass it down in person this year, but that's not going to stop me. I'm going to take you guys on a little road trip as we pass the key on to Tina Zhang. All right, made it to Tina's house. Now it's time to pass on the key. Let's go. Let's see if she can catch it. This is the real test.
Thank you, Drew. I have the honor of following the footsteps of one of the most incredible student leaders Woodinville High School has ever seen. Time and time again, you are the first one to show up and the last one to leave. Your dedication to the Woodinville community is unwavering through the toughest obstacles. You've taught me so much as a student leader and a friend. Thank you for everything you've done for this school. I can't wait to continue this legacy once we return back to Woodinville. Thank you, Zoe, Drew, and the graduating class of 2020.
As the seniors move forward in their futures and leave the nest, we also have a few staff members leaving our school to continue their legacies elsewhere. Though we are sad to see such incredible educators go, we are excited for them in their next adventure. To the WHS staff, thank you for all that you do for our community and the extraordinary impact you've had on our students. Though you are leaving our school, you will forever be part of our Falcon family.
First Falcon leaving the nest is Mr. Schuster. Mr. Schuster joined WHS this year to teach aviation. His enthusiasm and background in aviation has inspired his students as he shared his passion for flying. His class provided an opportunity for students at WHS to explore a whole new topic and industry with his extensive background in both flying and IT. Thank you for all that you've done for our community. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. Our next Falcon is from the math department. Ms. Hansen has been a Falcon for 3 years and has supported students in Algebra 2 with compassion and kindness. She was always willing to help students and go the extra mile to make sure they understood concepts. This summer, Ms. Hansen is moving to Utah and will be teaching math at West High School in Salt Lake City. We will miss you, Ms. Hansen, but we are so happy for you. Next, we have to say goodbye to Mr. Shepard, who is one of our incredible paras who has worked hard to support our students for the past 3 years. Mr. Shepard has spent his time at WHS caring for students in special ed with enthusiasm and compassion. This coming year, Mr. Shepard will be starting his graduate internship for school counseling. We are so happy for him and we wish him the best of luck in school. Ms. Kroc-Molly has been an important part of WHS for 13 years and has been bringing the staff donut since 2010. Starting as a counselor and moving to be the college career advisor, Ms. Kroc-Molly has helped many students stay on track in their high school careers and plan for their futures. She always takes the time to sit down with students to discuss careers and college choices and has planned huge college fairs for her school, exposing all students to new opportunities.
Next year, Ms. Kroc-Molly will be moving to Inglemore High School to be a counselor. Even though she is becoming a Viking, she will forever be a Falcon at heart. Another staff member leaving the nest this year is Ms. Sukamaki. Ms. Sukamaki has mainly taught Japanese at WHS and stepped in to teach Spanish 100 this year. She has been at Woodinville for 2 years, but even in that short amount of time, she has made incredible impact on our language department. We will forever be grateful for both her compassion towards students and her work in organizing cultural festivals. Ms. Sukamaki will be teaching Japanese full-time at Juanita High School in Lake Washington School District, and while we will miss her, we are so excited for her. And finally, our last Falcon we have to say goodbye to is Senora Tori, who is near and dear to every student and staff's heart. Senora truly embodies the one Falcon, one family spirit, and in her 17 years at WHS, her kindness, humor, and determination has inspired many. Whether it be funny stories with Shanae or an after-school study session, Senora Tori puts in her full effort to make her students laugh and feel cared for. She will be continuing to teach in the Seattle School District. Teaching in Seattle not only gives her a shorter commute and more family time, but an opportunity to lift even more students up in another community. We are so excited for Senora as she goes on her next adventure. Thank you for everything that you've done for WHS. You will forever be part of our Falcon family.
Next up, please welcome PTSA Representative Nanette Bamesberger to address the annual PTSA Golden Apple Award.
Good afternoon, Falcons. This is the 6th year I have served on the Woodinville High School PTSA Awards Committee, and in that time I've presented the Outstanding Educators Award, otherwise known as the Golden Apple, to some pretty amazing teachers. Over the years, we've been privileged to learn about the teachers here at Woodinville High School through the eyes of their students. Students told us how teachers went above and beyond to help them succeed. We learned that teachers motivated their students to excel, and teachers helped students feel like they were part of a family through their support, understanding, commitment, and sometimes even their sense of humor. This year, like so many other traditions, the Golden Apple had to be changed. For although the award is sponsored by PTSA, it has always been about the student support of this award. Without student recommendations, we couldn't single anyone out. PTSA knew that teachers and staff at Woodinville High School have shown a great amount of dedication and stamina while adjusting to the ever-changing landscapes of teaching during the coronavirus. Your commitment to our students, your flexibility to provide curriculum, and your courage to continue to be present in our students' lives have made you all outstanding educators for the 2020 school year. So instead of individual awards, Woodinville High School PTSA will be acknowledging all of our teachers and staff on our Golden Apple Award Board, as well as making a contribution to the Washington State PTSA Scholarship Fund. So while traditions have changed, teachers and staff have not. This year, they still came early and stayed late. They tutored students in person and virtually. They showed up at games and events until they couldn't. They supported, encouraged students this year in a much different ways, but were still present. Teachers help our students to reach and achieve, whether in the classroom, lab, stage, field, or online. You prepare our students for life and beyond. Thank you for your service. PTA wishes Woodinville High School staff a restful and relaxing summer, as well as a healthy one. Hang in there, Falcons. Stay well.
Every year, the graduating class gets to choose one staff member who will give a goodbye speech at the Moving Up Assembly. This year, we asked the class of 2020 to select a speaker that truly embodies what it means to be a Woodinville Falcon. Here to give his words of wisdom is the one and only Paul Glenovich.
I've often listened to people say, high school was the best time of my life. It's not. It only gets better from here. If this were their best, then those people stopped developing and growing at 18 years old. I'm here to tell you, while we could argue high school was an enjoyable time, life continues to get better by challenging you when life gets comfortable, surprising you when you least expect it, and rewarding you for your contributions to society. Hi, I'm Mr. Glenovich, and I teach marketing here at WHS. Thank you for the opportunity to address the class of 2020. No matter what steps you take, you'll always be connected to Woodinville High School. Friendships, job opportunities will be born in the future because of this affiliation. Let me give you an example. A question that inevitably pops up when I meet someone and they find out where I'm from is, where did you go to high school? Followed by, What year did you graduate? Then, did you know? Insert name. Boom. Instant conversation starter and connection to future relationships. You'll always be connected to each other through high school reunions. The reunion is another common shared experience. Everyone in the country has a high school reunion, and they all want to know if you attended. Heck, you may even meet your wife there like me. She didn't know she was walking around lucky for a week after the reunion as I was trying to figure out how to contact her. Actually, I'm the lucky one because my email avoided her spam folder and she replied. Reunions are wonderful because you get to see everyone and listen to the paths they have chosen. Whatever your path, I know you will impact my life and everyone in Woodinville in some way at some time. For example, one of you will be working for Puget Sound Energy and will restore the power that went out right before another Seahawks Super Bowl. Because of COVID-19, someone will be inspired to become an epidemiologist. I didn't even know what an epidemiologist was prior to coronavirus, but I'm sure glad we have them. Some of you will join our military to protect our freedoms, deploying across the globe so we can live our lives. Others will go into law enforcement, serving and protecting our community while advocating for social justice. More will go into professions to protect our beautiful planet, and some will choose to educate our future generations, just to name a few different paths. Whatever you decide your path to be, do it well, because we're all counting on you and each other. So when you come back for your future WHS reunions, know that you'll get the chance to learn about paths your classmates have taken for this point in time. The real intrigue is listening to the backstory of how and why they made their choice. To get to that point in a conversation, you have to be willing to listen. These conversations are easy to listen to. They are usually good news of success. But what if you're listening to pain or critique? It can become uncomfortable. In my sales unit, when we discuss how to determine needs of the client, I use the quote, "Hearing just happens, listening is a choice." It's the difference between, yeah, I heard you, versus, I am listening. Do you see the difference? Listening is not only using your ears, but it is also opening up your mind and your heart. Although seemingly trite, listening to one another is the best advice I can give you as you go forward in your journey. Whether you work in the public or private sector, become a spouse, parent, neighbor, or friend, before you can solve an issue, you must be willing to listen to the pain that is creating the problem. The pain of how to reduce environmental footprints, the patient in a hospital bed, the struggles of your child on the playground, or the community demanding better. I challenge you to not be a problem solver, but rather be a problem seeker. Problem solving means the problem exists now. Problem seeking solves the issue before we have a crisis. Be willing to listen, to seek an opportunity to take action. Instead of pointing the finger for someone else to take action, pull the thumb and you take responsibility. As a result of your action, change and innovation comes from younger generations showing older generations there might be a better way. Moving forward, you have the opportunity to listen, take action, and demonstrate there is a better way. Class of 2020, the past 3 years, we have listened to you. We have opened up our hearts and our minds. We are excited for your next step along your path. I cannot wait to listen to your future backstories. Congratulations, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Glenovich, for those wonderful words of wisdom. Now, usually in this assembly, our student body has the chance to line the walls to create a tunnel to say goodbye to our senior Falcons. However, we're unable to do that this year. But we have put together a heartfelt video to say goodbye to our seniors one last time.
Class of 2020, we know right now is a difficult time.
Senior year was supposed to be your year, but that was taken from you.
So this video is for you.
Take this time to smile.
To laugh.
To remember all the good times.
The games. The dances.
The competitions.
The shows.
The time spent with your best friends.
And your favorite teachers.
Take the time to reflect on these past few years.
On who you were when you first walked through the school doors as a sophomore.
And who you are today.
Take time to look back on these high school years.
Thank the people that lifted you up and helped make your high school experience unforgettable.
Goodbye.
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 Goodbye, class of 2020.
Hi everyone. Normally at this time, I would ask our faculty and staff to start forming our traditional tunnel to acknowledge, honor, and connect with the class of 2020. The significance of this tradition goes back to the first day the class entered WHS on Link Crew Day. On that day, our faculty and staff formed a tunnel, applauded, hooped and hollered, and welcomed the class of 2020 into our Falcon family. At the Moving Up Assembly, we returned to the tunnel one last time to show our love and appreciation to the class of 2020 for these past 3 years. While we're not able to do that in person, I'm hopeful you can think back to your first official day on our campus, September 5th, 2017, and take a moment to reflect on the great memories you've had at Woodinville High School and upon those individuals who've impacted you, whether they graduated before you or your current classmates, as well as any faculty or staff who helped you get to this moment. For the underclassmen, your official moving up day will be upon a return to our building in our opening day assembly. Juniors to be seniors, or better known as the class of 2021, you will receive your traditional white senior t-shirts free, courtesy of the Woodinville community. Look for details from the ASB. With that being said, this concludes our virtual Moving Up Assembly. Have a great summer, stay healthy, and I look forward to seeing you in the near future. Go Falcons!